Once upon a time in a kingdom far, far away there were two princes. sonicsus7, the noble and heroic younger brother, and Red sonicsus7, the ambitious and powerful older brother. They were destined to rule together. But destiny had other plans. A legendary battle took place, a clash of titans, a real nail-biter, folks. When the dust settled, only one stood victorious. sonicsus7, the new king. His victory was celebrated across the land with parties, parades, and probably a lot of cake. It was a glorious day for everyone. Except for one person. His brother, Red sonicsus7, was banished, sent away for 7 long years. So sad. Now let's fast forward 7 years. The date is June 16, 2025. We find ourselves inside the Grand Royal Castle. It's a pretty sweet pad. Big windows, fancy curtains, and a throne that looks super comfy. King sonicsus7 sits upon that very throne. He's a good king, fair, just, and he recently got married. Next to him is his beautiful new queen, a vision of grace and elegance. They're the kingdom's favorite power couple. Everything is perfect. The birds are singing, the sun is shining, it's almost too perfect. You know what that means, right? Something wacky is about to happen. The atmosphere in the throne room is one of peaceful serenity. The king and queen are discussing important royal business, things like tax reform, infrastructure, and what to have for dinner. You know, king stuff. sonicsus7 leans back, feeling content. He finally brought peace and stability to the kingdom after that whole dust-up with his brother. He thinks about Red sonicsus7 sometimes. He wonders where he is, what he's doing. He hopes his brother found peace, but deep down, a tiny part of him worries. 7 years is a long time. Long enough for old wounds to fester, long enough for a grudge to grow. The memory of the final battle still lingers in the air, a ghost of the past. It was a spectacle of epic proportions, a story told and retold by every bard in the land. sonicsus7 had won, but the victory felt hollow without his brother by his side. Their parents, the former king and queen, made a difficult choice. They banished their eldest son to prevent another conflict, hoping it would teach him a lesson. They believed it was for the good of the kingdom. But was it? Or did it just plant the seeds for a future, more dramatic and much more entertaining showdown? I'm betting on the second one. Suddenly a figure crashes into the scene. Literally, she swings in on a rope that seems to have appeared from nowhere. This is Purple sonicsus7, the youngest sibling. She's 17, full of chaotic energy, and dressed in a very fashionable, very emo-inspired princess gown. She lands with a dramatic pose, nearly knocking over a priceless vase. She's not your typical princess. She's adventurous, a little bit goofy, and she has this weird habit of talking to people who aren't there. Like you. She winks at the audience. Did you see that entrance? Pretty cool, huh? Took me all morning to set that up. Purple sonicsus7 dusts herself off and plops down on the steps of the throne. So, what's the haps, Royal Sibs? She asks, pulling out a strange glowing gadget. I was just exploring the forbidden spooky basement again. Found this ancient scroll. It talks about a long-lost prince with horns returning to claim his destiny. Probably just a silly old story, right? She says it with a laugh, but her eyes dart around nervously. She has a flair for the dramatic, this one. She loves stirring the pot, even if she doesn't always realize how hot the water is getting. She's the comic relief, the wild card, the princess who breaks all the rules and the fourth wall. sonicsus7 sighs, a fond but tired smile on his face. Purple sonicsus7, must you always be so... you? And please, stay out of the forbidden spooky basement, it's forbidden for a reason. And spooky! The queen giggles softly, amused by her young sister-in-law's antics. She finds the princess's spirit refreshing, even if it does cause a bit of chaos around the castle. Purple sonicsus7 just rolls her eyes. Forbidden just means extra fun in princess language. Besides, someone has to keep things interesting around here. It's been like 7 whole years of boring peace. Yawn! The young princess looks directly at the audience again, lowering her voice to a conspiratorial whisper. See what I have to deal with? All this peace and quiet, it's torture? I need some action, some drama, a little family feud to spice things up. She sighs dramatically, clutching her chest. Oh, woe is me, a princess trapped in a kingdom of tranquility. If only an exiled brother with a major grudge would show up and ruin everything. She winks again. Be careful what you wish for, right? Foreshadowing. Get it? She then proceeds to trip over her own feet, creating a domino effect that knocks over a suit of armor. Clang! Just as the clang of the armor echoes through the hall, the grand doors of the throne room creak open, slowly, dramatically. A chilling wind blows through, extinguishing half the candles and making the tapestries dance like ghosts. Everyone freezes. sonicsus7 sits up straighter on his throne. The queen clutches his arm. Even Purple sonicsus7 for once is silent. A tall, imposing figure stands silhouetted against the bright light from the hallway. The shadow is familiar, yet different. It's taller, broader, and there's something strange about the shape of its head. And is that a tail? The figure steps forward, out of the light and into the throne room. It's him. It's Red sonicsus7. But he's not the brother they remember. His hair is a wilder shade of crimson, his eyes glow with an intense fiery light, and sprouting from his forehead are two menacing curved horns. A long, fleshy tail sways behind him, knocking a priceless vase off its pedestal. Smash! He's been gone for 7 years, and in that time something has clearly changed him. He looks more powerful, more dangerous, and definitely more pointy. He scans the room, his gaze lingering on his brother. A wicked smirk spreads across Red sonicsus7's face. "Hello, brother," he says, his voice a low, rumbling growl that sends shivers down everyone's spines. "Miss me?" He takes another step forward, his heavy boots echoing on the marble floor. He looks at the Queen with a dismissive glance, then at Purple sonicsus7. "Still playing the fool, little sister?" he sneers. Purple sonicsus7, for the first time, looks genuinely scared. She whispers to the audience, "Uh-oh, I think I wished for a little too much drama. This new look is a lot. Did he join a weird club or something?" sonicsus7 rises from his throne, his hand instinctively going to the hilt of his sword. "Red sonicsus7, what is the meaning of this, your banishment? It's not over." "And what happened to you?" he asks, his voice a mixture of shock, anger, and a flicker of concern. The 7 years of exile were meant to be a time of reflection, not a monstrous transformation. What dark, magic-fueled gym had he been going to? Red sonicsus7 just laughs, a deep, unsettling sound that fills the hall. "My banishment is over when I say it is, little brother. As for my new look, let's just call it an upgrade. A souvenir from my travels." Red sonicsus7 walks slowly toward the throne, his tail flicking back and forth with menacing intent. He circles the throne, examining it like a predator sizing up its prey. His eyes are locked on sonicsus7, burning with a fire that has been smoldering for 7 long years. The peace in the room is shattered, replaced by a tension so thick you could cut it with a royal butter knife. Every guard in the room has their hand on their weapon, but they dare not move without an order from their king. The air crackles with unspoken history and brewing conflict. This isn't just a family reunion, it's the prelude to a war. "I've had a lot of time to think," Red sonicsus7 continues, his voice dripping with venom. 7 years in exile, 7 years to remember my defeat, 7 years to plot my return. He stops directly in front of his brother, standing just a few feet away. The size difference is noticeable now. Red sonicsus7 towers over sonicsus7, a mountain of muscle and rage. "You sit on a throne that should have been mine. You wear a crown that was forged for my head. You rule a kingdom that I was born to lead. This charade of peace you've built is an insult to our name." The Queen stands, placing a protective hand on her husband's shoulder. "Red sonicsus7, please. This is your home. We are your family. There doesn't have to be more fighting." But Red sonicsus7 ignores her completely. His focus is solely on his brother. "Family?" he scoffs. "Family doesn't banish family. Family doesn't steal what is rightfully theirs." He points a clawed finger at sonicsus7. "You were always the favorite, the golden child. While I was the one with the real power, the real ambition. Our parents were fools to cast me out, and you were a fool to accept this crown." Then comes the moment everyone has been dreading. Red sonicsus7 draws a massive, jagged sword that glows with a faint, dark energy. He points it directly at sonicsus7. The room falls into a deathly silence. Purple sonicsus7 hides behind a pillar, peeking out with wide eyes. "I am back to claim what is mine," Red sonicsus7 declares, his voice booming through the hall. "I challenge you, little brother. A battle for the crown, to the end, right here, right now." He lets out a mighty roar, and the screen freezes on the shocked faces of sonicsus7, the Queen, and the terrified yet slightly excited face of Purple sonicsus7. Cliffhanger! To be continued!